What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me. My name is Michelle, and today I am going to be doing some mobility, flexibility, activation, just things to help your body feel good and to keep it more functional, right? I tend to have really bad posture, and I have an anterior tilt, pretty jacked up for a personal trainer, actually. So I need to take my own advice and do some of this stuff that we're going to be doing today. All right, so I'm gonna cut the video to some of the mobility, and then after that I want to do a quick cardio burst because I like to do a little something to sweat every day. So helps to get the toxins out, helps to just shed excess water weight, and just helps you feel good, gets the circulation going, right? So that you have more creativity and can sleep better and all that good stuff. So anyway, let's get to it. I'll see you on the next clip.
Ankle mobility drill is first. Get in a push-up position with one foot over the opposite ankle. You're basically doing a single leg downward dog, driving your hips up and pushing that heel down into the floor. Lengthen through your spine, and you want to keep your shoulders pulling down out of your ears. I'm doing 5 on one side and 5 on the other. I take a deep breath out as I come down. You'll hear me push the air out. Pull your belly in so that you don't let those hips sag. You don't want to feel this in your low back. I also like to squeeze my glutes as I come down. Alternating reverse lunge with posterolateral reach. So you're going to step straight back, that same arm goes up, and you're going to look and turn towards your hand that's reaching towards your back foot. This one is a little tricky and obviously takes a lot of balance, but you should feel a good stretch through that hip flexor on the leg that goes back. The more you reach up, the bigger the stretch. You also, whoopsie daisy, you also want to squeeze the glute on the leg that's reaching back. Squeeze that glute and kind of tilt those hips under. Glute bridge is next. This is one of my favorites. On your back, obviously, heels on the floor, arms out, palms up. You're going to drive through your heels, and you want to roll and tuck your pelvis under as if you're trying to pull your pelvis up towards your ribs. Squeeze your glutes as hard as you can and make a nice, strong bridge, a straight line from your knees to your shoulders at the top. If you can't go up all the way, though, that's okay. Some people feel this in their back if they go all the way up. That just means you need to work on this and keep strengthening your glutes and stretching your hip flexors. I'm doing 20 of these total, and this is something that you can do every day, especially if you struggle with an anterior tilt, meaning your hips kind of stick out and you kind of have that pooch in the front. This helps to correct that anterior tilt so that you can get stronger in your glutes and stretch your hip flexors.
I love you too.
Cossack Lunge, get in a wide stance with your toes out. So I'm going to take a deep lunge to the side, drive your hips back, and let your opposite toe come off the floor. I've got my arms reaching up in front of me, trying to keep those parallel to the floor and keep my chest up. It just acts as a good counterbalance. I'm doing 5 on each side. You should feel a good stretch through the adductor, your inner thigh, and the groin. Kneeling quad stretch. So I'm going to elevate my back foot on my sofa, putting my knee down on a mat to protect my kneecap. I like doing these prisoner style. Gets a good stretch through the chest at the same time. And I'm leaning or hinging forward onto my front foot, keeping my back glute nice and tight to feel that stretch, but really focusing on the quad, especially as you push back. Make sure you're tucking those hips under. I am doing 10 on one side and 10 on the other side. And I apologize for that awkward sound that's going on in the background. My dog is chewing on a chew toy and it sounds like my knees are cracking or something, but it's just my dog. Also, if you have a hard time doing these prisoner style and lose your balance, then you don't have to have your hands behind your head. You could just keep your hands on your hips. And if moving was too challenging, as I lose my balance, you could actually just hold it back and just do the best you can. But if you couldn't move, if you just kept falling, then just hold a static stretch for your quad, because that's just as good. Next are SCAP push-ups. So you're going to get into a tall plank, and I'm not going to bend my elbows. It's a SCAP push-up, so your scapular retractors, your shoulder blades. I'm letting my torso drop, squeezing my shoulder blades together, and then I'm going to push into the floor and push my shoulder blades apart. Now, I noticed that it wasn't until about rep number 8 of 20 here that I actually started rounding out that upper back and getting that stretch that I was looking for. So I kind of caught myself and corrected myself. But these can be kind of tricky. Just do your best. But you're strengthening your rhomboids, which are part of your shoulder stabilizers, and they're super important to keep strong. Child's pose when you're done, just for a little stretch here. The last drill is a bent over wide row to external rotation. So we are strengthening our external rotators. Our internal rotators get really tight from poor posture, typing, driving, just standing incorrectly. Take those elbows out nice and wide, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then externally rotate. Don't force the external rotation. I'm doing 20 of these total. Really want to get these muscles fired up. Relax your neck. Try not to get those upper traps fired up, and just really focus on squeezing the shoulder blades and then swiveling through that shoulder socket. Keep your core engaged and make sure you're breathing. Thanks for joining me on this mobility and activation routine. Do this daily to help with posture,